My name is Sheryl Campbell, and I own Serendipity Yarn and Gifts in Buena Vista. In my store, I display a circular sock knitting machine that dates from 1876. Today, I'm going to demonstrate making a shorty sock with a picot edge using Regia cotton cocktail sock yarn. The machine is set up with 72 needles, a cast-on bonnet, and waste yarn. The yarn carrier feeds yarn to the needles as it rotates around the cylinder. The needles are a hook design with a latch that opens and closes. A 4-pound weight is added to the center of the cylinder to put tension on the needles. My first step is to crank 12 rows of plain knit. I then manually move one stitch over to its neighboring needle and crank around. This produces lace holes that will later form the picot edge. We now crank 12 more rows to complete the cup. To form the cuff, I pick up each of the stitches from the first row that was cranked and hang them over the last row of stitches. This folds the cuff in half and produces the picot edge. I then crank 20 more rows for the ankle of the sock. In order to form the heel, 2/3 of the needles are lifted out of the work. The remaining needles are worked back and forth, adding one needle on each side. This produces a wedge that is similar to Cat 4D's sweet tomato heel. Three wedges are needed to complete the heel. Now that the heel is finished, we can complete the foot by cranking 40 rows of plain knit. The toe is next. I will take half of the needles out of work. The first set of rows will be decreased by one needle on each side, tapering down to the toe. When all of the decreases have been completed, we reverse the process and begin increasing one stitch each row until we have used all of the toe stitches. One last increase row and the sock is finished. All that is left to do is to attach waste yarn and remove the sock from the sock knitting machine. When the sock is removed from the machine, the cast-on bonnet is still attached that will be trimmed away, and there is waste yarn at the toe area. We will be back after we close the toe using Kitchener stitch. Here is the finished sock with the toe closed and a cute picot cuff. The sock fits nicely. From start to finish, the sock took about 1 hour to crank. If you would like more information about circular sock machines, I suggest the cskms.org website.